Welcome to the stage, once again, the Senior Vice President of Strategic Marketing, Success Partners, Paul Adams.
So first of all, I want to thank Gary and Demindra and Tiffany and the entire team for asking me back. I've had a great opportunity to get to know a lot of you, actually. I see a lot of familiar faces as I walk through the room and as I walk through the hallway. And it's fun to come back and talk because, in all honesty, this is where the rubber meets the road. This is the group of people out in the industry, you are, that actually makes things happen. And my normal job is I'm working with corporate people. And the good news for you, just like this team, is they really want to do what they can do to help you succeed. That's their job, to help you do well. So in my job, I get to help people. That's kind of fun. In reality, at Success Partners, we help about, hundreds of thousands of people every day. They don't even know we exist, but it's a good feeling to know that some people are out there actually doing some good things because of something we had to say. In the end, what we're really doing is helping new people attract new people. That's what this industry is all about. That's how it works. That's how people win, and that's how they succeed. And being in an event like this, I have to congratulate you. I know you've heard it before, but the people that show up in an event like this are the people that do well. They're the ones who actually grow a business and succeed. They're a part of the community. They're part of the business. And I'll tell you another secret about this. The more people you bring, the better you're going to do. So I guarantee you the people that have brought a bigger team here are going to do better than the rest of the people in the room. That's just the way it works. So my caution is, if you look around the room and you recognize everybody at the next event, something's not right. You need new people, bringing new people all the time. So let me tell you a little bit. I've been in this industry for almost 30 years. And I had a lot of hair, and it was not gray. I don't know what y'all have done to me, but it's been fun because what I get to do is spend time, like I said, working with the corporate teams to help you succeed, help people in the field succeed. And then I spend a lot of time doing research. And my research really is about what's working and what's not working. I mean, there's a lot of bad ideas floating around out there, I promise you. And we try to weed through all that stuff. We want to learn what does work, and I want to ask a lot of questions. Like Gary said, I want to listen. I want to learn more than I want to do anything. But then once I learn it, I have an obligation to go back and teach it and share it and get other people to know what I've learned. And some of it's just astounding. Some of it's super simple. So let me just cut to the chase. All I want to get to today is a couple of really basic things. And the biggest question I get from teams, corporate teams, is why? Everybody wants to know why. Why is the other guy doing better than me? Why is the other guy doing better than my field? Why is the other guy what are they doing that I don't know about? And what is it I can learn from them so that I can help our team do better? So if all things are equal, they really just want to know what's the difference. So let's compare a couple of companies. Let's call one company A, one company B. Both have great products, just like you do. Both have really good, well-intentioned leadership, both at corporate and field. You're good leaders, you're good people. Everything about this looks right. Both have good compensation plans. Both have good stories about the product. Both have a great-looking kit. Both have great logos, good branding. Everything looks good, but one of them's doing better than the other. So what is it? Is it experience? Is it that the logo colors are better? Is it training? Is it a great website? Is it better social media? What is all these things? One's shinier than the other, one a little sexier looking than the other. I mean, this is all the stuff that gets talked about, believe it or not. So here's what our research shows. If all things are equal and everything looks like it compares to apples across the board, the one that wins is the one that makes it easier for you to do it, period. The more complicated it is, the harder it is to do. Because in the end, like I said, all we're talking about is making it very easy to share a great product experience, teach people how to do it, and engage people in a business opportunity. If we can make that easy, your business gets easier to grow. That's really it. And I know that sounds crazy. It sounds like it can't be that simple. Well, it's not simple to get there, but that's what happens. Our belief is that, it's a real simple process to get good at this business. First, you have to do it. You have to do it, the basics of the business. Then you have to master it, and then you have to teach it. And teaching means you're a leader, right? That's the basics of it. Do it, master it, teach it. Repeat those behaviors, get it going, and get somebody else to do it, master it, teach it. And by it, I mean, the it is share the product and share the business opportunity. That's the it. How simple can we make that? So if you know that we're trying to get new people, and new people to get new people, the easier and faster we can make that, the better everything is. So face it, everybody's just like you. You got a lot going on, right? You got a marriage, you got kids, you got a job, you got life, you got stuff. You got enough stuff. You don't need more complication. We're going to just make it super simple, because what happens is the more complicated you make it, the faster the no's happen. That's a really proven theory in this industry. So keep it simple. Now here's a quote. I'll use this quote, and it is written on my whiteboard in my office, and it will be posted visible wherever I'm working for the rest of my life, and I hope my kids take it with them. And it's from Leonardo da Vinci. Not really a great business philosopher, but he's a pretty smart guy. It's this: simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. I firmly believe that. Now what that means is it's hard to make things simple. You got to be smart to make things simple. The dichotomy here is, by being smart, you also complicate the crap out of stuff. That's the way people do. That's who we are. Humans in general, the smarter we get, the harder we make things. It just happens every day. And it's because you're human, and because you're in this business, I guarantee you, what happened is you got in, it was pretty simple. The further you got into it, the more complicated you may have made it. It happens across the board, across countries, across companies. Everyone I've looked at, the deeper they get into it, the more they want to complicate the process. The challenge is you're not the new guy, and we need new people. They need to see simple. They need to see a really, really clear way to do this business, because a newbie is not you. They're not complicated yet. Let them complicate it later on their own. Make it simple, and they will complicate it, I promise you. So I tell people, all my clients, when you've done everything you can possibly do to make it simple, make it a little simpler. And that's hard. It's really hard, because smart people, like I said, smart people, the smarter you are, the more complicated you're going to make it. So if you're having difficulty, congratulate yourself. You're just too smart, okay? Now, guys, now's your chance. Tell your wife, I did it because I'm too smart, okay? And lives, you can go and laugh at him now because they ain't buying it anyway, but that's the way it works. You're going to overcomplicate it. You're going to overthink things. So here's my recommendation, and I can't take credit for any of this. I have stolen every ounce of this from someplace else. I mean, stolen might be tough, but I've got a friend in the industry, and I think Gary has heard him speak a couple of times. He says if you take one idea, it's theft. If you take two, it's research. So I've researched this stuff from a lot of different sources and put it together in a couple of basic principles. And you've heard some of this before. It's nothing new. One of the most important things that I see companies do and do really well is teach their people, their new people, to be the messenger, not the message. Be the messenger, not the message. So what does that mean? If I walk up to you and I start talking, and I'm explaining, and I'm pitching, and I'm selling, and I'm diagramming, I'm putting stuff on pieces of paper, and I'm doing everything I can possibly do to convince you of what it is I'm talking about is right, I am the message at that point, okay? I have made it fairly complicated. I have to be fairly well trained in order to do that, okay? So that's being the message. What we prefer is to be the messenger, and that is take a great tool, something that tells the story, a prospecting tool, that tells the story for you. In your case, I might put a product sample with it. Hand them the tool and say, I'm jacked up about this. I've lost weight, I'm having fun, I just came back from this great Oklahoma City event. What I want you to do is take this and read this, and I'll call you tomorrow. Would that be okay? I didn't have to be really well trained to do that. All I had to do is create a dialogue, create a conversation, create some trust, and create some interest in the simplest way possible. And that's all that process does. It creates dialogue with a lot of people that I otherwise might be scared to talk to, or I'm going to blow them out of the water with a long, drawn-out conversation. Let me tell you what happens when you have that long, drawn-out conversation. The person on the other side of that conversation is listening, and they're watching, and they're evaluating. They're making a determination, A, do I care about the product? Even if the product sounded good, okay, maybe I'll buy it. But if you're listening to you about the business as well, they're making a determination, can I do this? Is this something I want to do? I mean, face it, this industry is not made up of people that want to sell. Direct selling is the wrong name for this industry, but that's what we call it. I have a good friend that calls it direct sharing, because sharing a concept, sharing something is very important. Selling is not what most people want to do. But that engagement process of blah, 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 blah is a selling process, and it's hard to do. Even well-trained salespeople screw this up. It happens all the time. But if I can get somebody engaged in a conversation and have a follow-up, and I want that follow-up to happen within 24 hours, then I've got dialogue. I've got a conversation that has happened, and I've got a reason to talk to them again. I have people I know in this industry who will tell me that, and had a guy in my office yesterday, he said, I have lost so many friends in this industry because I pitched them too hard. And they won't even look at me at church anymore. They're afraid I'm going to pitch them again. And he said, I learned better along the way that if the tool does the talking, we're still friends. It's okay. I haven't run them off. In fact, if they tell me no, it's okay. They told the tool no. We're still friends. I get to see them at the soccer game. Everybody's happy with that. So we get people to think in terms of handing something out and following up. It's a really simple process, and I'm telling you, it works, keeping in mind that this is for new people to do and new people to do to new people. The industry stats are staggering. If you look at it, 80% of the revenue in direct selling, 80% of all revenue in this industry is done by people who have been in it less than a year. That means they're not smart enough to screw it up too much. They've gotten out and they've gotten excited, and we just haven't given them a chance to succeed very well. They've attracted a couple people, but for the most part, they haven't done a great job of it. We want to give them the tools to get started. So give them the tool, get them to follow up, and have the conversation. Now, if they're not going to follow up, all bets are off. Don't do it anyway. The follow-up is super critical. Then once we teach somebody to do that, the simple process we teach them is to hand it out twice a day, and then follow up the next day. And the reason 2 works is because if you told me right now, I just got into Saba, look, this is fun, I know it's going to work for you. If you'll do this twice a day and follow up, do this over a period of time, you're going to get business and you're going to attract a lot of conversation. It's going to be a fun process for you. You're not going to make anybody mad. I can own that process. As a new guy, I can look at this and go, yeah, I can do that twice a day. Feels like something that's manageable. So you've managed my expectations, you've set very reasonable goals, and if you teach me to do it and I do it, then what I'll do is I'll do it, then I'll master it, and then as I start attracting people to the business, I'll start teaching it because it worked for me. It's a really simple thing. So this brings me to you, right? So what do you do with this process? The good news is you already have the tool in place, and it shows up in the kit. We have that image? Yeah. So it shows up in the kit, and we call it a journal back at Success Partners. In reality, it's the newsprint style piece that's in there. It's at the bottom right of this image, and actually on the right side as well. It's the For You journal. Okay, now what that is that's a way for the story to be told for you. It's pictures, it's images, it's excitement. It's what Saba's all about, told for you in a way that's consistent and reliable every single time, specifically for that person who doesn't know who you are. They can't tell the story of being here yet. They haven't done it yet. We want to give that person a chance to succeed. Now, some of you are going to say, all right, it's print. Ugh. It's old school. Nobody uses that stuff anymore. Well, let me tell you, our job is not to determine what people use. Our job is to watch and listen and figure out what's working best. And electronic is not going away. We fully believe all the electronic media that's out there, use it. It's all good for something, right? There's no better way than to share an immediate fun fact than Facebook or Instagram. I get it. Show the great pictures. Show the excitement of this event. Do it today. It must happen. It's great stuff. It creates a community. Everything about that's great. The story that can be told in something that's multi-pages with the pictures far outweighs it. So here it is, 2015. Okay, I'm telling you, they're telling me print is dead, and they're telling me that CDs and DVDs are dead. I'm just going to relate to our experience. But right now, back at our place, we're printing more stuff than we ever have in our 27 years in business, because that's what people are using. If they didn't use it, we wouldn't do it. We don't care what you use what works. I'm just telling you, don't discount things just because it looks old school. Old school is what's working. It really does work. The beauty of this is it's really, really, really inexpensive, okay? Because there's no harm done in trying this process. For example, this thing's going to cost about, well, I don't know if you got the pricing. I'll let Gary talk about pricing a little bit more. Okay, well, that's way better pricing than we recommend. So normally we tell people these things should sell for about $1. So I'll just, because I'm a simple guy, I'm going to go with $1. Let's say it costs you $1 and you hand it out 2 a day. You're going to commit $2 a day to hand these things out and follow up. So over the course of a week, you got 10 of them out there, you spent 10 bucks. Our research and everything we know from our client base is if you do that and you follow up, you've got 10 of them out there and you follow up, you're going to get about 1 new distributor if you just follow up out of those 10. That's proven. I don't get to make those numbers up. Let's say it's 1 out of 20, just to make you feel a little bit better. You got $10 invested in getting a new distributor. Now, what also happens is you get more customers as a result of it. You're exposing things to more people in a way that they're more receptive to. So they're going to listen, they're going to try it, and they're going to be willing to ask more questions. It's really, really, really affordable way to expose new people to a new process, new people into the business. Okay, does that make sense? It's not, there's really not a big investment. The investment is in your time. The investment is in the follow-up. This is not a moneymaker for Saba, I can promise you, especially at that price, okay? So, here's the challenge I have for you, and a word of caution. You are already leaders. A lot of you are already really, really, really good at what you do. So you don't really need to do this process. You don't really need to master this process, and you could still be fine. This is for the new person who gets in. This is for the person who's never seen it before, but has some hope that they want to grow a business, and you have some hope that they might want to grow the business with you. This is a way to build the people at the base level to give them a fighting chance to succeed. That's all this is for. I'm not asking you to change the world about how you've done your things. What I would ask you to do, instead of doing and mastering, can you teach it? And give that person a chance so that they can grow into being what you are today. I mean, that's what they want to do. They want to paint a vision for growth, they paint a vision for becoming what you've already achieved. They want to be on stage too with 50 pounds and $5,000. They want that chance. We just have to give them that chance. And that's what that journal and that's what that system does. And I'm telling you, this isn't a made up thing. This isn't because it's here for you. This is proven, and it's why Saba has invested in a tool like that, and it's why it shows up in the kit. The reason it's there in the kit is we want that person who gets it today to go do something with it today. And that can happen. She can actually receive it today and go out and hand it to somebody and say, I'm going to call you tomorrow. I'm still an idiot, but I'm still having a conversation. It's a pretty quick way to get involved in the business. I hope that makes sense to you anyway. So what I'm going to ask you to do, because you're already good at this business, instead of handing out 2 a day, because you're already active, you're already doing your thing, and that's what we want new people to do, get active and do maybe 100 in the first month. That's only 4 or 5 a day. And watch what happens. Do the follow-up process. We're talking about investing for $60 to try that. It's really simple. And then get your team trying it. And watch what happens, because as we do this and we start getting activity, we'll get more customers, we'll get more exposure to Saba 60, G2. We'll get everything, the exposures will go up because we're taking down the barriers of people that are scared to go talk to people. This is a way to get the barriers gone, is all it is. So we'll get more conversations, get more dialogue, get more trust, create more interest, and then let them do it, master it, and then become teachers as well. That's all I'm asking you to do, and I hope you'll give it a try, because I know it works. It's been proven now I've been doing this system with clients for 25 years. It's not fake, not phantom. The tools will change over time. The system will work for you if you'll just work it, okay? I appreciate it very much. Thanks for a little bit of time I got to spend with you today.